Hi everybody, welcome to the Favorite Fishing channel. Today we are going to review the updated Whitebird. This review is very significant and important to us because the update of Whitebird models is a tip of the iceberg in the large project for updating of all favorite micro jig series. Historically speaking, the micro jig rods make a very large part of the vast range of favorite products. The start of Favorite is connected with launching the very successful micro jig rod series, namely Exclusive and Bluebird. Over a long period of time, they have been bestsellers. However, time moves on, everything changes as well as our technologies. Our anglers are becoming more proficient, and they require better and better fish and tackle, because micro jig is one of the most popular fishing styles here. That's why we've launched this large and global project for updating of all our micro jig series. Everything is fresh in the series. There's nothing left from the old Whitebird but the title. Firstly, as you could have already noticed, the rod is not completely white now. The design is rather simple and standard, but in the meantime, it is, let's say, classic regarding Japanese rock fishing rods. We have decided to avoid painting the blank in order to unload it and make it lighter than it was in the previous series. The blank has been also totally revised. Frankly speaking, it was the most complicated part of the rod updating task. As I have already told you, our anglers are becoming more and more proficient. That's why they require better and better rods, even if these rods are of a budget class. Thus, we have committed ourselves to make the most of modern technologies. As a matter of fact, the blanks of the budget rods don't have any marked and specific action. On the contrary, the Whitebird is fine with it. That means that each rod has a special action that gives the best performance in a particular situation it has been designed for. The basic material of the blank remains the same. It is a low modulus carbon 24T, but the blanks are completely different from the previous Whitebird blanks. They're much more rigid, lightweight, and responsive. By the way, we've got a very decent weight as for budget rods. The most lightweight model in the series is 682 SULS. It weighs only 70 grams. The rod building components have also changed. Now it is a modern KR concept. Moreover, even the most lightweight models have been equipped with single leg guides of AT type. The LTS inserts remain the same. Now let's talk about the most important thing, the general concept of the series. Moreover, not only the Whitebird will get this concept, but also the Bluebird and other micro jig rods. Previously, we had several variants of rod length and two-tip versions, tubular and solid or monolithic. As of today, we have completely revised the model range, and each rod in the series has a specific designation for particular situations and tasks. Even a budget Whitebird model has this specific designation, which is not often to happen. Now let's move to the model range. I'm holding the most lightweight model in the series. It is 682 SULS, 2 400 meters long, casting weight range up to 5 grams. This rod is designated for perch underfoot fishing at shorter distances, mostly with the most lightweight jig equipment. It has a monolithic tip, or solid in other words, and it is pretty flexible to allow doing actions with very light and passive lures. Such types of the rods are very popular in sports fishing. Besides, among amateur anglers, it's popular as well. With this rod, it is very easy to catch fish in any conditions using the most lightweight lures, whether it be a small river or a city pond. The next rod in the series is 732 ULS. It is 2 2/10 meters long, casting weight ranges up to 7 grams. The rod has a solid tip. This model could be considered an all-purpose perch fishing rod. As a rule, monolithic or solid tips are very good for various dashed lure actions, which are mostly used especially in perch fishing and also for passive soft bait animation. This is 76th tubular time-honored classic model. Not a single micro jig series could avoid adding it into the model range. This rod's label is 762 ULT. It is 2 3/10 meters long, casting weight range up to 7 grams, and it has a tubular tip. This all-purpose micro-jig rod is suitable for various fishing styles and different lure actions, to catch both perch and pike in different waters and at various distances. If you're a novice and you would like to choose your first micro-jig rod, please pay attention to the above stated model 762ULT. 732LT is a light all-purpose rod with tubular tip. It is 2 2/10 meters long and has casting weight range up to 12 grams. As a matter of fact, we have been thinking for a long time whether to include this rod in the series because it seems to be slightly out of the range of classic micro-jig rods. We have decided though to leave it because these rods were highly demanded in the previous versions of Whitebird and Bluebird series. We have slightly revised the actions of this rod. So now it is a universal rod, suitable both for boat fishing and for fishing on small rivers and lakes. You can fish with it both using jig and hard lures. You can fish using topwater lures, twitching small minnow lures, and also using crankbaits, especially their deep versions. And finally, the most powerful rod in the series is 802LT. It has a tubular tip, casting weight range up to 12 grams, and is 2 4/10 meters long. It is a trendy lightweight rod for shore fishing. Actually, it's very difficult to produce a long lightweight budget rod, which could have fast action but wasn't too weak at the same time. I think we've coped with what's at stake regarding the Whitebird. This model is designated for onshore fishing at long distances with light jig baits. Basically, you can fish a big perch at distant bottom or catch pike on commercial ponds or zander on small or medium rivers. We have decided to limit the rod at 8 because it is very difficult to produce a long lightweight budget rod with good action but not too flexible at the same time. That is why we have sacrificed the length to save the action of the rod. Thus, the Whitebird model range consists only of 5 rods, but these 5 rods cover all demands of the modern micro-jig and light jig fishing. This concept facilitates the choice, especially if you're a novice in fishing. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.